Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the next reaction to season 5 of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The last episode that we watched together was the penultimate episode of the season, The Tale of Badge, which I really enjoyed. Don't get me wrong, there was elements of it which I talked about last episode. I'm not going to re-go over it, which frustrated me quite a bit, which was the repeating of a certain word over and over again. But honestly, the episode as a whole was just really fun. Some really amazing practical effects. The actor playing Badge was great. It was a fun adventure, learning about your hidden secrets, your family secrets, and your hidden talents to magic. And it was just a fun ride for most of the episode. And I really enjoyed the characters, to be fair. I realised that the girl in it was the girl from The Tale of the Carved Stone, I think it was. So I knew she'd been in it before, but I couldn't place the face. But I'm sure I've seen the brother in something else as well. Maybe he was in Goosebumps. I don't know. But I really enjoyed the episode. But this episode, it's the last episode of season 5, and the last episode of the original run. I'm going to miss these characters. Yes, I know that the Midnight Society are only in a little bit at the start at the end of each episode, but you do really get attached to certain characters, and it's always been sad to me when characters leave, particularly one like Frank, who I just remember him a lot when I was a kid, and I've grown attached to them a lot more as an adult as well. And not having those characters who are from the OG cast in the show anymore always feels like a bit of a loss, especially when they're replaced with characters like Stig, who just objectively is not a very good character. Like, he's just annoying, and he's not written to be someone that you like. He's quite irritating and rude and gross, and so it's like you've got rid of someone, or maybe the actor wanted to leave, I don't know, someone that we like, for someone like Stig. So this is going to make me really sad watching the last episode of the original 5-season run, because after this episode, the show was off air for about almost 3 years before the revival, which I know, on the most part, has a brand new Midnight Society. I believe one character is in it again, but I'll wait till I watch it to confirm. But on the most part, it's going to be a brand new Midnight Society, which I know has like Alicia Cuthbert in it, because I know her from 24, but I remember, obviously as a kid, I'd watched some of You Afraid of the Dark, so I'd seen her face there. But just because I'm not going to see people like Betty Ann again, and Kiki, and Gary, it's going to make me really sad, because I like these characters, and Betty Ann in particular is one of my favourites of the entire run. I'll talk about more on my next episode who I liked most this season in terms of their stories, and then probably once I've finished the 7-season run of the originals, I'm going to look at each Midnight Society member and do a video on like what the best episode was, what the worst story was, because as far as I'm aware, the newer ones, each season is one story, I think. Let me know down below if that's not right, because that's obviously planning for later down the line. We'll get around to that, which will be a while off yet. But I'm really looking forward to watching this episode because of what it is. I know it's a fan favourite, but I'm also really nervous because I know this is my last one with the characters that I love, the characters that I've remembered this cast from being a kid. Like, the show started in the early 90s. I was born in 1990, so this was like my childhood. These like Frank and Gary and Sam and Eric and David and Betty Ann, those guys were what I grew up with for a few years. So let's go into the episode. This episode is called The Tale of the Night Shift. So I remember a specific part of the episode, which I think is a very memorable part of the episode in terms of a specific visual, which I'll talk about when it happens. But I don't really know much about the storyline, but I know it's quite a popular one amongst the fans, so I'm excited to see it and see if I love it as much as the fans do as well. I'm hoping that I do, because this episode is the last one that we're going to see of the original bunch. I like the original episodes, even if it's like cheesy and bad acting, but they do some really cool monster designs like Badge, like the ghost in Dead Man's Float. I really like the chameleons and things like that. So let's jump into the episode of The Night Shift, which I'm presuming from the title, it's someone who works the night shift, which is unusual because most of the characters in the show are like young kids. So obviously they're not doing jobs. So maybe it's someone who's a bit older but does the night shift at a job somewhere and something spooky happens. From someone who's done a lot of night shifts, and I work night shifts now, depending on what job that is, night shifts can be quite scary and can be quite like dark and spooky and ominous, depending on where you are, what business you're in, how empty places can get. So I'm very excited to jump into the episode and see if it's as scary as people say that this episode is. I hope so. I really hope so. If you enjoyed the video, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. And if you've enjoyed Season 5 of You Afraid of the Dark. And also, if you're excited to jump into Season 6 and 7, the first revival of You Afraid of the Dark, please take a look at the Patreon link down below to help support the channel. You get to watch episodes and a YouTube, but it does help support me and help me keep doing this. But yeah, let's jump into Are You Afraid of the Dark? Season 5, Episode 13, the season finale, The Tale of the Night Shift. And my guess of who's going to tell it, I hope it's my girl, Betty Ann, because she tells the scary ones. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Let's go. Oh, I wonder if it's Gary went straight for that chair.
My fault.
Please tell me Gary and Sam get together.
I said, Sam, we've known each other for a long time now, and I think you know how I feel about you. So maybe we should just talk about it and decide if we should go out for real.
Yeah?
And?
Well, she said she liked me too, but didn't want to get in a relationship right now because she had a lot going on. And...
Oh.
Who cares why?
Gary!
Bottom line is she doesn't want to have anything to do with me.
Some things may look familiar, but they could be hiding a secret that you'd never
It's like one of those key things that has like a little hidden compartment. Ooh.
It could be beautiful
Maybe,
or
no.
mysterious.
Maybe not.
Or like in my story, something evil. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society.
It's the last time I'm going to hear it from the original cast. The Tale of the Night Shift.
Is this your signature, Zebo?
Zebo.
Yeah. You signed for a water pump. Did I say you could sign for shipments?
No, but...
But you did. Now it's gone.
Gone? But the thing is huge.
Find it, Zebo. Or find yourself another job.
Handed the Zebo. That's why are you allowing kids to accept packages?
I just can't get used to this night shift, you know? I mean, how do you do it?
Night shifts there.
I got school till 3, then track practice, homework, and dinner. If I want to volunteer, it's the night shift.
How?
When do you sleep?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let me check my schedule.
That seems really unhealthy. To be at school all day, and then various things, and then a night shift. That must do havoc with your body.
We've got a new volunteer. I want you to show her around.
New volunteer.
Margot, Amanda. Amanda, Margot. Now you're old chums. Don't annoy me.
I don't know if I trust you,
Hi.
Margot.
Hi.
The new volunteer.
You picked the night shift too?
Yeah, school kind of takes up a lot of the day.
Tell me about it.
Amanda!
But how did it
Hi,
get...
Felix.
No, baby, don't follow her.
I want to show you something.
No. I mean, he's a teenage boy, so I get why he's following her. Bye, Felix.
You know, I don't think you're supposed to...
Well, that's the image I remember. That green thing. I don't know what it is.
Friend of yours.
What's wrong?
Tomorrow... getting tonsils out.
I'm so sorry. What?
Then you can take care of me. You want some candy corn?
Jerk?
No.
Oh, come on. It was a goof.
No.
It was
you're
a
goof and
goof.
I'm busy.
No.
Hello.
Don't follow her. She's
Oh,
evil.
bring me a win, sweetheart. Hey! You're not supposed to...
Say bye-bye to the lovely lady. I'm really enjoying the set, though. This episode clearly had a budget. Because rather than just in someone's house, it's... Or in the... Oh, God. Rather than in some random forest, it's actually in a hospital, which is cool.
Pizza, anything. If you hate me after that, I'll leave you alone forever.
Colin, I told you before. Oh man, you scared me.
And she
That
looks
guy's in my class.
awful.
He's been bugging me for months about
You're not concerned about this
Lorette.
whole thing? No.
Sorry, it's only me.
Stop bugging me.
It is a bit creepy at this point.
My roommate's gone.
Oh, come on. He's just having fun.
But I guess you wouldn't know about stuff like that.
She's a busy woman. Leave her alone.
If I get in trouble, I'll cut out your tonsils myself.
I like her though. She's cool.
So, alone at last.
Can you eat those things?
Stop
It's
eating.
not even Halloween.
I'm a rebel.
No,
You're a creep.
Get me in trouble.
You're actual creep. He's really annoying me. He's so creepy. Blood. Oh, is it a vampire?
Blood storage bags. I found this in the closet.
She's
empty.
already been
There's a
bitten.
ton of them in there.
Really? How strange.
So it's not killing them.
Hey.
Is it turning them as well?
Sorry. Why are you so jumpy?
Is that a body?
No, it's a pinball machine.
I was about to make a sarcastic comment as well.
I've seen a dead body before. It's no big deal. It's just a dead body.
It's Felix.
Who?
Felix.
Yeah.
He works on maintenance.
Not anymore. He's like. Really
This guy's... Oh, I don't like this guy's
I
creepy.
just saw him tonight.
Felix is just fine.
Depends on your definition of fine.
Why don't we go see him?
You go. Tell him we say hi.
Is that Felix? Yeah, run.
Amanda?
Please God, run.
Felix, but you're
Dead?
So why is the other guy like green? Is he like the king vampire?
Oh, it's not
maybe
so
Trump then.
bad, really. You'll soon find out for yourself.
Do something.
What are you doing, man?
Okay.
What is your problem?
We'll get you a doctor.
There are no doctors. There are no nurses.
Kill
there
him.
are no patients. There's nobody left.
Stake him. Chop his head off.
Feeding on everybody. Only enough to control them. Not enough to cause a panic. Once it gets everybody, it's gonna come back.
You're the only vampire other than him.
It's gonna
Okay.
come back and finish him off. Amanda, please come with me.
No.
I'm getting weaker.
Kill him.
I don't know how much longer I can fight it.
Kill him.
Wait, what?
Oh, they went with him, which is surprising. I don't know. He may be leading you to a trap, though.
It shipped itself here. Can you believe it? Amanda. It's emptying in the hospital. Get out of here. There's no such
You
thing.
want me to prove it to you?
Are these guys
Fighting the change
not realise he's a
back in
vampire
these-
already?
The only thing it needs is that coffin. If we can destroy it, then.
Amanda? Are you down there?
Marco.
No.
Are you okay?
No.
Sure.
No, it's her.
People have it all wrong.
I told you it was her.
Vampires only need to feed about every 50 years or so. And isn't a hospital a great place for it?
We're gonna go upstairs.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
We haven't been properly introduced yet.
Whoa. That was quite a cool effect.
I should finish what I started.
He looks awesome, though. Yeah, just leave Felix. Bye.
This isn't exactly the first date I had in mind.
We get the chance.
Now's
for a
not the
second.
time. Oh,
The coffin.
I mean, now really
Felix
is
said if
not
we
the
destroy
time.
it, we destroy the vampire.
I lure the vampire away. You can move the coffin.
Forget it, Amanda. If it gets you, you're dead.
If we don't stop it, we're both dead.
Hey, maybe you should come with us.
Tell your friend I'll be upstairs.
Tell me yourself.
I thought maybe jump. This episode's made me jump a few times now.
You got to see the morgue.
Okay, now we've got a big aerial shot. This episode had budget. Uh-oh. Someone's gonna stop him. Felix, who's turned fully.
You wanted proof? Here it comes.
There's no use in running.
I'm far too good a hunter.
No, that's a cool outfit though. I'm far too good at hunter.
Felix, don't!
Stick him.
I don't like to work so hard for my kills.
It's gonna get Amanda, Felix. Blame me and Amanda's done.
Okay. Felix is fighting it. Coffin, help him with the coffin. This is very dark for a kid show. If he just dies now, she's gonna fall.
Then lick up what's left.
The design of that vampire's awesome though.
No. The old-fashioned way is best.
Oh, I was gonna say, why did he stop? Time to die. Now kill Felix because he's still a vampire. What? Did this episode have like double the budget of every other episode? Because they've done so much more here. So everyone's back to themselves again. Which is good.
Nothing a little sleep wouldn't cure.
Felix, though.
Are you okay? What happened?
It's over.
No, it's not.
Everybody's back to normal.
No, it's not.
They don't even remember what happened.
Oh.
Finish mopping the lobby, or I'll find somebody who knows how to work.
Is he not a vampire anymore?
I remember. Thanks.
Oh. I was convinced he was still going to be evil.
What was that about a second date?
I'll have to check my schedule.
Big flirt, you. That was ominous. I was expecting a big twist at the end, I'm not going to lie.
Great. Cool. Gary. Could you wait a sec?
Yeah, I guess.
Keep walking.
See, Betty Ann, always a supportive friend.
That story was about someone so busy, being busy. They missed a lot of possibilities.
Yeah?
Well, maybe you and I have some possibilities.
Really? That's great. Why don't I put out the fire?
No, not yet.
Oh my god,
I want to watch it a little while longer.
it's so cute. I can't handle it. Why is this the last episode with these two in it? It's too cute. Okay, that was my reaction to the season 5 finale of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Night Shift. And that episode was awesome. It was so good. It really felt like this episode has such a huge budget compared to most of the other episodes, because most of the other episodes will take place maybe in one location, maybe two, but they're always like normal sets that are pretty easy to build, like a house in someone's house, or in the middle of a forest, or just a random building or whatever. But this one was in a hospital, like multiple rooms of hospital, from the boiler room, all the way where the furnace was, to the corridors, in wards, in storage rooms, the morgue, the rooftop with big aerial shots. It really felt like the budget was a lot more, this one. And not just that, but we had a huge cast of characters as well, more than we normally do. We tend to only focus on like 2, 3, maybe 4 people, if you're lucky. But we had the main girl with the guy that was like the main 2 protagonists. We had the girl who turned out to be the vampire, so the vampire was another actor. The boy in the wheelchair, another nurse that started. The one that was in charge, Felix. The one that was like the working with Felix, a couple of security guards. So there's like over 10 different characters, which is very... I mean, there's a lot of like minor characters throughout, but these felt like there were 10 characters that all played a part in what was going on. And it made sense quite quickly that there were so many characters in it, because they were getting picked off so quickly one by one. And that was the whole point of the story, was that she was doing a night shift at the hospital, and there was a vampire there who was taking them out one by one. So what I really liked about this as well was the pace of the episode was great. It was a really fast-paced episode. It wasn't, this happened, and the next day something new happens, and then they go to school and have a chat with their friends, and at night something creepy happens. It was all, she's turned up for a night shift, and over the course of that night shift, some really scary crap happens. And that vampire was very quickly working his way through the staff, which is realistic. You see it in a lot of shows where things should happen at a quicker pace, but because it's telly, they don't. They take longer. But realistically, if you're a vampire and you need to feed once every, I think they said, 50 years, you would make it happen fast, because you don't want to get caught. So we saw like he was taking out the nurses and the different staff and the patients one by one really quickly. But I knew when we met that new girl, there was something off about the way she was talking, and just she was overly excited to be there. I was like, she's evil. Whatever's going on, whatever's behind all this, she's a part of it. She's evil. I'm not sure how I know this, but my spidey sense is going off. She gives me the heebie-jeebies. And I was right. She was this vampire. So it was really cool. It was actually quite scary at points when the first couple of people were being lured away by, again, another actor that was in it, the young girl that was actually the vampire. But the vampire was also the girl that was a nurse. The vampire was played by like 3 different characters. So they get lured away, but it would like jump out from behind a corner, and it was actually quite scary. I think it jumped 2 or 3 times and it just coming at the characters. And so it was really cool. And the design was awesome, from like the grey hair with the green skin and the fangs and the leathery outfit that it was wearing. I said it at the start of the episode, and I'll say it again, this season has delivered with some really cool creature designs, from this vampire, the dead man's float skeleton, ghost, the badge thing, whatever it was, that badger mole rat guy. Yeah, when they actually do loads of practical effects, it works really well. And it made the vampire quite scary because it was like a real person. It wasn't loads of CGI until there was a couple like bits where it morphed, but even that was done fairly well for the time. I wonder if they put a lot of budget into this episode because they knew it was the last one. Whether they planned it to be the season finale, we're going to go out big. Did they know they were going to get cancelled for a couple of years or not? Was it just like dwindling views? I don't know. Let me know down below if you got any more backstory on that. But it feels like they went hard for the final episode. And not just that, but like at the end when, I'm jumping forward a bit, but when she got into the roof, there's like a big aerial shot that zoomed out of the city when she was running along the roof. And then when the vampire went off the edge, we saw a burning thing fall into the ground. They really went all out. Like normally it's just like a quick little bit of CGI, the bad guy's gone, or what, and it's normally done in like a little enclosed setting. But this was huge. This felt grand, and like it could have been expanded to be a genuine horror movie. Really well done. I liked the main girl. I thought she was smart, she was funny, she was likeable, because she's obviously someone that works hard at school and then has all these activities, and then she volunteers as well and gives up a lot of her time to help other people. It's a really good character. But the guy that she was like flirting with, he was really creepy at first. He was like, would not take no for an answer. So that kind of gave me a bit of the ick. Like, she's not that interested. Like, dude, take the hint. And he kept eating these sweets over and over again and was just kept harassing her. Luckily, he did in the end because he was around enough to help her through all this and wasn't separated and turned. And they worked together to stop this vampire who'd... So the first person it took was Felix. It took too much blood from Felix and turned him into a vampire, but everybody else was just under his control. So we had the cool thing as well, where it wasn't just the big bad vampire. We had the fact that someone she knew, her friend Felix, was also turning into a vampire, and he was trying to resist it, but wanted to chase them and feed on them, whilst also resisting, so that when the guy that she flirted with was trying to save the day and burn the coffin, Felix went after him, went to kill him, but because he said, well, was it Amanda? I think it was Amanda, is in trouble, like if we don't do this, she's going to die. He resisted enough. So I like the fact that we had this like old, green, ancient vampire and this brand new one as well. The differences between the two was quite cool. This show is not aimed at like an adult audience, but it had this young girl who'd already been chased around by loads of vampires, by loads of people that were like being turned by the vampire, and he grabbed her and held her over the edge of a building ready to drop her. That was really scary for a show that's aimed at the audience that it was. That was quite intense, and not just like the vampire jumping out, and lots of scary moments throughout the episode and scary chase scenes, and it was hanging her over the edge of the building, wanted to throw her off. Ultimately it didn't. It brought her back on and was like the old fashioned way to the best and went to bite her, but then they burned the coffin with the help of Felix, and then it burst into flames and then fell off the edge of the roof and collapsed. And this episode was great. And not just was the story brilliant, the Midnight Society was brilliant. For the last episode, they really hit out of the park and gave me what I really would have wanted, which is some movement on the ongoing storylines between the Midnight Society, which the only one we've really got other than Everyone Hates Stig is Sam and Gary. At the start of the episode, we found out that he'd asked her out and she kind of said she was too busy for a relationship and said no. So like Betty Ann was trying to console him, and he was a bit sad, and it was so good because Gary and Sam had been flirting for ages, and Betty Ann's always a supportive friend. But at the end of the episode, because of the story that that Sam had told, she went to Gary and was like, my story was about someone who's too busy to take opportunities, which was about the guy that she was flirting with that she ended up going on a date with. And she wants to do the same. She wants to go on a date with Gary and they can go out together. But they didn't even just do that. They went and watched the campfire together. Like, it's really cute. It was so cute. I think I'd be interested to know if this was the last episode that planned to be the last one, and if they knew they were going to get cancelled, because it felt like a bit of an ending to at least those characters. Maybe not an ending, but it wasn't just a random episode with no relevance to the main characters, though they just gone, cool story, doused the fire, walked off. It was some progress on their relationship, which was really sweet. What we've been wanting for a while now, basically since Sam came into it in season 3. Yeah, because I think basically she replaced Kristen, right? We've known that Gary and fancied Sam and whatnot, so we're waiting for some sort of movement on that. Finally, at the end of season 5, he'd asked her out. She said no, but then she asked him out, and they're going to be cute and go on a date together, and hopefully have their happy ever after. Because I know that there is some mention of the Old Midnight Society in the revival. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil it for you guys that have not seen it. I'm wondering if we hear anything about them, but I like the fact that it did touch on that and it gave them a bit of a coda to their like ongoing flirtation, and they've admitted they liked each other and are going to go on a date, and that was really cute. And Betty Ann, as always, when the Tugger and Stig were like, ugh, pulled them away. He's like, come on, guys. Even Cricky was being a bit funny with them. And this was a really strong, really strong episode. Not just final episode of the show, because it was a really scary episode with high stakes, a lot of characters, a lot of sets, cool vampire, but also some good Midnight Society stuff as well. So I think it was a really strong episode of the show. Probably one of my favourites of the season. But we'll have to wait till the next episode to see which one I'm going to rank as my favourite. I'm going to take some time now between now and my next recording to rank every episode of the season. I think I've got a good idea of what's going to be at the top, what's going to be at the bottom. But I like to do it fairly and sit down with all the episodes in front of me and rank them all properly and take some time to think about it. So, yeah, get ready for the ranking episode. Get started thinking about your ranking so that you can put it in the next episode. But let me know down below what you thought of this one. I can really see why it's probably a big fan favourite, because this was really good episode of the show, like really scary at points, and good acting, good characters, good vampire. 2 thumbs up, absolutely loved it. As always, my name is Scott. I'm excited to see your comments on this one, to read your comments and see what you thought of season 5 as a whole. And I'm excited to start season 6 and see how the revival tackles a new Midnight Society and what kinds of stories that's going to be with some new cast members as well. I'm excited for that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Take a look at the Patreon link down below to help support the channel and watch my episodes ahead of YouTube. And yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you all very, very soon for the next episode of You Afraid of the Dark, Season 5, which will be the ranking, and then the first episode of Season 6. Bye guys, take care, stay safe.